Jimmy now has a family of his own. He has a loving wife, and he has kids of his own, and he's basically living life right now. However, one conflict that Jimmy is currently facing is that his children are also undergoing the same conflicts that he went through when he was younger. And a quote from Dr. O. Ivor Lova says, if they can't learn the way that we teach, we teach the way that they learn. And basically, this dives into how, even though not all problems may be solved at once, we have to keep thinking of alternate ways in which we can convert information that older generations have taken in, and we can pass it on to future generations, so that way the problem doesn't keep spreading to future generations. And so because of this continued suppression, we must reanalyze the ways in which we analyze certain problems and how we pass them on to future generations. And so today, I will be providing 3 solutions in which we can help combat research to help society out with autism. Our first solution is innovating structure and safety. Now, autistic individuals tend to use their external surroundings whenever they think of safety. And so a study done on when autistic participants were put under virtual reality, when they were placed under virtual reality for fire safety and tornado safety practices, all of them were able to replicate such practices in which they correctly identified what to do in those situations. Virtual reality allows for as realistic approach as possible. It allows for expressions of how you would physically move in certain situations. And this can tie very deeply into autism, since autistic people tend to have mental challenges that may prevent them from that may have them act slower than that of a normal human. This is important, as this is now newfound behavior in which they're able to safely express themselves through their instincts. Our second solution, a personalized treatment plan. Now, when a treatment plan is brought up, most people tend to think of medicine. And while that is true, it's not always limited to medicine. In fact, actually, a study comparing 2 types of ways of therapy, ABA and eclectic, they revealed that both of those methods improved aspects in situations such as socialization and motor skills. To bring it into perspective, ABA and eclectic are basically just ways of physical therapy. They have differentiating methods in the structure of them, but they basically point to the same solution, that all of the aspects of an autistic individual must be recognized. And so when we do think of medicine, which is the alternate solution, it's recommended that since ASD children can have insomnia, as it's a recognized trait that they have, melatonin can be a preferred treatment, as that has been shown to have minimal adverse effects and actually helps autistic children sleep better. So, since melatonin if it's injected within the first hour, then that will help the ASD children be relieved of whatever they were thinking, whether it be stressful or just emotions that have been bottled up. And our final solution, we have free and low-cost US government services. So under the Individuals with Disabilities Educational Act, if such an individual is recognized with autism, they are able to be eligible for these free and low-cost services, which is great, because at first, people with autism are not going to understand monetary value that easily. And so it's important that we have services in which we can train autistic individuals to break out of negative habitual cycles so that way they can start lives of their own and function as a normal human in society, just like the rest of us. And so an analysis focusing on these costs of government services, while the cost may seem high, it's been gradually decreasing over time. And this all has to do with just our current economics. And so this government awareness, it's crucial since the government has a larger voice in how they can present certain information. It's what America is run on. And so while the ASD individuals work fewer hours than their most counterparts, with this catalyst in which they are undergoing, we can ensure that the continuity of the services provided, it will instill proper work ethic. So to conclude all of this, the innovation of structure and safety, it will help trigger the external events that are happening throughout future generations if the problem is not resolved. A personalized treatment plan, it's not limited to medicine. It can include therapy, it can include just, rehabilitation, not the bad kind, but it's not limited to it. And the low-cost services. This is especially important since the government is what America runs on, even though it's not too popular. And so if all of these different aspects are applied, even if it's just one aspect from each of them, we will ensure that Jimmy will be able to help his children so that way future generations of his family will not have to go through what Jimmy has ever faced again.